Hi, I'm Shane Gebauer with BrushyMtnBeeFarm. And one of the questions we always get during extracting time is, how do I filter my honey? Well, the simple answer is you don't really have to filter it. You just need to strain it. Honey will naturally clarify if just left in a bucket and let gravity do its work. All the wax and particles will float to the top, and what's underneath will be good clear honey. And so you can bottle off the bottom. But let's go through a couple of options that we've got on how to strain honey so that you don't have large chunks of wax in that honey. First, let's start with our uncapping tub. This is a tub which is two bins. The bottom portion has holes cut in it. This is food-approved plastic, and you can see a stainless steel mesh grid with perforations. The bottom tub has a gate in the bottom, and what you can do is uncap your frames. On the crossbar there's a nail in the center that allows you to very easily pivot the frame around and hold it securely while you uncap that frame using whatever tool you'd like to use to uncap your frame. The cappings fall into the tub. This nylon mesh is optional. You don't necessarily need it, but it does get a lot of the smaller particles out of the honey. So the cappings fall in there, the honey drains down through, and you've got the tub underneath that you can then use to bottle out of. As you extract your frames and move them over into the extractor, in most cases you want to have your honey gate open so that the level of honey doesn't come up and bind up in the basket of the extractor. And so as the honey flows from the extractor, you can have a bucket underneath with a gate if you'd like, and you can use any number of sieves. We've got this type which fits down into the bucket in 3 different grades. They can be nested if you'd like and stacked in and allow the honey to flow through those sieves directly into a bottling bucket as it comes out of the extractor. There are other options to this as well, such as a plastic double sieve, which has a coarse mesh followed by a fine mesh, and that fits down on top of the bucket as well. And we also have a stainless steel version of that same sieve. Again, a coarse mesh followed by a finer mesh to get the larger particles out. And this expands and contracts to fit on top of your bucket. One issue with using this method is that sometimes the honey is flowing so fast from the extractor that it exceeds the capacity of those strainers and therefore overflows. And sometimes it's best to simply let it flow directly into the bucket, which means you're going to get some particles, wax particles, in with that honey. Now there's a couple of ways you can deal with that. You can simply leave it in the bucket and let it set for 24, 48 hours and all that wax will come to the top and you can bottle off the bottom. However, at some point you're going to reach the level where that wax starts to come out the bottling gate. And so you'll have to deal with it at that point. What you could do is, if you've got the multi-use tub, you can take that honey and dump it through the mesh here into the bottom tub to filter it or strain it. Or you can also use our 5-gallon strainer system. This comes with 2 parts. The top part that again has a stainless steel mesh that's perforated. The bottom part is a bucket with a hole for a honey gate, which is included. I just don't have it installed. And what you can do is, if you've got wax in this bucket of honey, is simply take the bucket, dump it in, allow it to strain through, and of course this is a 5-gallon bucket, so it'll hold a 5-gallon bucket of honey, and you just let it sit and let the honey drain through. Once it's done, all your wax will be up in this nylon bag. All your good clean honey will be at the bottom. I do recommend letting it sit for 24 to 48 hours still, so that any air that may be in that honey rises to the top. Even though you've gotten the wax out, it's nice to get those air bubbles out as well, and they'll naturally rise to the top. Generally speaking, gravity takes care of most of the work for you. There's no need for a lot of expensive, fancy equipment, pressure filters and things like that. Just a good quality strainer and a little bit of time will result in some good, clean honey. I hope this has been informative. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call or check out our website. Have a good day. Bye-bye.